Good evening, YouTube. It's Kevin here, coming at you tonight with a beer and Baccy review. That's right. I'm sitting out in the backyard here, enjoying the weather. Way calmer and less windy than it was last night. It was cold last night. Today's a beautiful evening, and what I'm going to be reviewing for you today in the Peterson system pipe is Straus Tobacconist Ault Park. Now, I was kind of caught up in the Sleepy Hollow craze as it was starting out. Everyone was clamoring to get their hands on some Sleepy Hollow, and myself included. So after they had sold out of their first kind of batch of it, I heard they were doing a waiting list. So I called Straus expecting to be put on the list, and they just happened to have blended a new batch that day, so I was able to get some right away. So I figured, this was my first ever order from Straus, by the way, so I figured while I was ordering the Sleepy Hollow, I would order a few other tobaccos that had been recommended to me. So Blue Chip was one, which is a Balkan blend. I may come and do a review on that. The other was Ault Park, which I'd heard of plenty. That is the Cincinnati Pipe Society. I guess that's their blend. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know Buntar has talked about it. Strangely enough, though, as I guess as popular as it is, you know, having that I have heard of it, not being a regular of that tobacconist, not being a local, couldn't find any reviews, hardly any. I think I found one YouTube video of it. I didn't even watch it. I hate to say, but yeah, hard to find any information about it. I didn't even know what the flavoring was. I knew it was an aromatic, but I didn't know what the flavoring was. So wasn't expecting too much, considering that I couldn't find much. Usually if it's a great tobacco, people want to talk about it. I mean, there's, you know, a couple dozen reviews of Sleepy Hollow on the web already, and it's only been out a month. But Ault Park is, without actually having read any notes about it, I get that it's like a vanilla caramel type of thing, and that was confirmed by Buntar. That's kind of, I think, what they were going for. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Boswell's Bear blend. Now the aroma in the bag just knocked my socks off, and not being a huge fan of aromatics, this was an aromatic that just had me wanting to eat it out of the bag. That's how great it smelled. But of course, I've smelled aromatics like that and been completely disappointed. So when I loaded up my first bowl of this, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. So when I did light it, I was extremely pleasantly surprised, because the flavor was definitely in line with the aroma. Kind of gave me like a sweeter version of Trout Stream, if you will, at least in my opinion, in my taste buds. Sweeter with a little bit more heft to it, but without being, you know, overly sweet and cloying, to borrow a term, a wine tasting term. It just absolutely goes hand in hand with the aroma and the room note. It's got like a nice butterscotchy finish to it. And what's nice is that unlike most aromatics, or half the aromatics that I've tried, the flavor doesn't disappear after 5 or 10 minutes. You know, you still halfway through the bowl and beyond, you still have the sweetness of the topping, and you kind of get most of the full effect of the flavor. I mean, it does diminish slightly, but you do still get it. So, without taking too much more time, I'll conclude by saying that this is a very good aromatic tobacco. I would recommend that if you're ordering from Straus, if you're trying to get your hands on the Sleepy Hollow, don't stop there. Grab yourself a couple ounces of Ault Park. You will not be disappointed if you're an aromatic fan. Smooth, cool smoke. Doesn't bite. You know, I'm not exactly a sipper. You know, I puff pretty hard, and this just I can't get this tobacco to bite my tongue. So, sorry for the length, guys. I just love talking to y'all. I'm gonna follow that up with some Allagash Nancy. Sorry, the lights are a little bit bright. I promise that's what the label says. And this is an ale brewed with cherries, coming in at 6.3% alcohol by volume, which to me is a little bit unusual for Allagash because they're kind of known for their heavier Belgian style beers. So I imagine that this is going to taste like a double, like a Belgian double. Look at that. That's a real nice that's a good color on that. That's a Dew Claw snifter, by the way. Okay. Immediately on the nose, just like ripe fruit flavors. Almost smells like tangerines. I completely expected this to be more along the lines of a like a quad with that heavy yeasty Belgian yeast aroma to it, strong. This has a bright fruity like citrus, but not hoppy citrus, like sweet tropical fruit. I'm gonna take a sip. And absolutely, I get a little tartness, but I don't get cherry so much as I get like pineapple, orange, like a sweet sour flavor. It's kind of bright and fizzy on the palate there. There is a little bit of bitterness, but that comes, I think, from it being dry and sour. I don't know if it's sour from the yeast. There's not a whole lot of information on the bottle itself. The label is very bare. It just has the name of the beer, the brewing company, the ABV, and some other info, but it doesn't give a description. And I didn't look this up because I wanted to be an objective review. And It's not at all what I expected. I expected, having drank Allagash beers before, I fully expected a kind of a heavier, maltier, sweeter beer in that Belgian style. But definitely wouldn't have paired if I knew what to expect from this beer. I wouldn't have paired it with an aromatic tobacco. I probably would have done a probably like a vapor or some kind of Virginia. Think of the dry bitterness or dry. I want to call it bitterness, but dry sour character of that I think would pair better with a Virginia tobacco. I think the aromatic, if you were to try to drink these together, they wouldn't really balance. This would overwhelm it with the sweetness of the flavors, and you wouldn't really appreciate what was going on in this beer. But taken on its own merit, I like this. I'm a big fan of Belgian sour ales, Flemish sour ales, red ales, in general, lambics, that type of thing. So in that respect, this and on its own, this is a very good beer. So if you like that, give it a shot. Nancy by Allagash Brewing Company. So that's really all I got tonight, guys. If you got any questions or comments, let me know. But yeah, y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care, guys.